heck are you doing this week? So, no, we're not doing that, but I'm hoping we can do a test run on this before the end of the year. The reason it's sitting like this, yep, brand new tire. Ooh, and yes, that wheel stud is getting the threads repaired. When I picked this up, the leg was bent. Someone had pulled it with the pin still in and bent the leg back. So I've got it down the shop. Probably have to cut the rippled section out to straighten it back up. Not a big job. Pardon me, it's kind of chilly. So what are we doing? We've got some grading work to do. And yes, we have this. Some of you might not have seen this before. It's a, they call this a 4-way or a 6-way. Because it goes tilts, 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 and then you can adjust in and out as well. So that would technically be a 6-way. So it works as a grader as well. But we've never really used the wheels. They ended up being more of a problem. So that's why it's up like this. Because it was breaking these upper bolts all the time. That one looks like it's on its way out too. But for the most part, we just use it as a blade, not a grader. So yeah, there's the other way. There's manual and everything else is hydraulic. So we're going to get the ground ready for the concrete. Because next week is supposed to be nice. A little bit of chance of rain, but that's not going to hurt nothing. Like that English language, nothing. Before I go any further with the video this week, big shout out to BCP Trucking. They did a shout out to little old me, and thank you all the new subscribers. Thank you for coming over. Pretty sure you won't regret coming over here. And hey, if you're entertained by the channel, stick around, because you never know what I will be up to. And yes, I'm Canadian Scottish. So yeah, big thanks for that, because my subscribers list jumped quite substantially. And yes, I don't have a very large channel. I've been doing this for 5 years now. And some might say that my subscriber count should be higher. Yeah, you could say that, but I'm just glad that people like to watch it and get a kick out of it. And like I said, comment. That's more important to me than anything. Anyway, back to the job at hand. Like I said, thanks, Brendan and Carol. Gonna get this done. Gonna get finished, hook up the pipes, get it set. And then you can join me back down there where the concrete's going. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see from here. But got a fair bit cut. Considering how little rain we had this year, to get anything in a second cut, never mind a third cut, that's pretty good. So probably somewhere between a quarter and a fifth of the field is cut. Some of the spots, once it goes 2 into 1, there'll be a decent little swath there. Some of it, I put the header down just to see what it would look like, and yeah, meh. But if I can get a couple of dozen bales off of here, for the amount of hours that I spent out here cutting and running around back and forward, yeah, like I said, if I get a couple of dozen bales, I'll be quite tickled about that, because it's like going around all of the dips, all of the potholes, all the water runs, and then any of the areas where there's some heavier soil. As you can see here, where it gets darker, a little bit more plant life. Now, if I had either a 30-foot pull type swather, or it was easier to switch out the header on this, because it's not, I would have stuck the canvas header on this, because it's a 30-foot, and just cut it that way, and then just waited for it to get really cold, and then what we call freeze baling. I know people in the UK would be like, what in God's green earth is freeze baling? Well, I think you guys can pretty well figure it out. You wait for it to get cold enough, even if this is, you know, still a little bit of high moisture, you know, high 20s, because low 20s is not a big deal. High 20s into 30s, that you're dangerous there. But yeah, you can go out, bale it at 30%, and it's so cold it won't spoil. It'll actually stay keeping in the bale. It'll actually gas out, because we made some bales last year at that in the mid 30s, and by the time winter was over, the bales had gassed out. So come springtime, the bales didn't rot, because we were still feeding them, and they were actually quite good quality still, even inside. But what we'll do is we'll feed them straight away to the cows, because we are bale feeding already to the big herd just a little bit. We've been bale feeding to the younger ones all summer in the paddocks, but that's because of the way the paddocks are set up. Plus we've got too many animals in the paddocks right now. We're kind of trying to work out the numbers there. But that's her. Cutting 23 is done. So this rig is going to need a whole lot of work done to it for next season. Like I said, the solenoid block is in to sort why it does that, running and running and running and running, because the diverter block down there is cracked, so there's bypass getting through. This wheel motor down here has started to leak, so we're going to be looking into that. Besides that, it's actually not too bad. The one thing that we do know we're going to be getting into here before long is new tires. I know it kind of sucks because the treads are not bad, but very bad cracking and very bad stubble wear. So anyway, on to the next project. Man, oh man, if only you had smellorama. Ugh. So, what are we doing this for? Well, we have a problem, Houston. So, as you can see, I have these aimed up. I'm going to see if I can get you guys under here. I'm not sure what you're looking at. So there's a hydraulic drive that drives these, and there's two bearings on either shaft under there where the drive is. So I know the bearing at the front is fine. The bearing here is gone on both of them, pretty much because of this, because when you do get a rain, you get this moisture sitting in here, and then it ends up rotting out the bearings. So I've got to clean this out, clean it all up, and then I've got to cut these bolts off. I'll see if they'll turn, but I doubt it highly. And then I've got to pull these out and then get the new bearings. So, oh, like I said, rotten old silage. Yummy. So, change of plans. We're going with the wireless version. So yeah. Ironically, it was easier to just remove the whole discharge chute than it was to try and fix it on the wagon. Amazing how handy this little bugger comes in, and you know not to abuse it. So here we are. So yeah, all it is there's two brackets that hold the pivot because you can angle the chute up and down. And then you have the two locking bolts that lock you in whatever height you want. So like I said, those bearings, they're fine. I'll make the decision, the judgment call on whether we just leave them there because they're rather expensive and there's nothing wrong with them. Like I said, these all get greased on a semi-regular basis. And these are actually still the original chains. That's the funny part. But yeah, those bearings in there are 8 right out. I'm hoping the bearing blocks are still good because they're quite expensive too. They're like $115 a piece, I think they are. So, okay, let's start tearing in there. Turn in here nearby. Might need to put some new hoses on this thing. This is all original to it. We've had this wagon. Dad might be able to correct me on this. 18 years? Oh gosh, no. 21 years. I think we've had this wagon. Wow. Not too shabby. Okay, let's get torn in. Well, I could tell you that was easy, but I'd be lying because it wasn't. So yeah, I managed to find that there is a drain hole at the back, and I think they meant like you're maybe supposed to plug it. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. And as you can tell, it's up on the back of it. So, Piper Doug style, because I had to let all that trash water out of there. So there we go. So we got it off. So yeah, the front ones are in pretty good shape. The back ones, not so much, and I had to do a little reliefing. How's that for getting her close? So yeah, just fired the old screwdriver in there, popped her off. So, so these are pretty stout bearings. Those ones they seem fine. So I'm going to pump them full of grease, check them out. But the nice thing is they are on the outside. These are the ones that go up here. So if they do fail out at a later date, we can take them off real easy. And this isn't really that hard. Like I said, this is 21 years on here, sitting with silage and crud. So yeah, I just decided we've got a bucket full of all bearings and stuff that came from the other shop. Like I said, there's everything, all the equipment that we've ever had through the other farm. And I've always kept, when we've been like doing a big change out, and there's multiple bearings, and we just go put all new ones in them because of the big equipment at harvest time cannot be down, or seeding time or spraying time cannot be down. So I usually keep back any of the bearings that were still functional. So I went and checked the stash, and lo and behold, we've got an exact match for this. Exact, absolutely exact match. And then we have, it's a long shot. See, it's a little bit chunkier, but the center cone is the same. The only difference is it's a fair bit wider on the back side, but I did realize there was room at the back side where that could work. So if I can get these into the bearing hangers, this should work. I have no idea what this is off of. Well, we all know what the green paint's from, but I can't remember what this would have been on. Because this is stout, like this is heavy. I got a feeling this is like an auger. Yeah. Auger or the feeder? No, the feeder house is hex shafts. Yeah, I have a feeling this is an auger. Anyway, so saved myself a couple of $100 there, at least. So it's the end of the day. Go in, have a shower. Get back at her tomorrow, hopefully. Be able to fire this all back together and get her up and running. The one thing I have noticed is the flighting down here is getting kind of thin. Up there it's okay. So I wonder, because we have a manufacturer nearby. They build augers. It's called Wheatland Manufacturing. So yeah, I wonder if they would sell me a chunk of flighting. It'll do for now. I'll straighten some of it out and get her back to action, because these cows need fed. Getting tired of putting bales out. They've got lots of silage, so let's get on. You all know what that means. Yeah, and I even cleaned my windows. Well, they were clean. This one's clean. Making some pretty nice hay. So yeah, I'm kind of looking if I can get half a dozen would be great, but if I can get 3 or 4 bales out of this field, that'll be awesome. It'll give me a couple of days. And then there's still lots out here, so if we want to graze this field later on once the calves are weaned, we'll do that. We'll just have to do a little bit of extra electric fencing. Up by the bale yard, because this field borders right onto our big feed yard, so it would not be good, but there's lots of eating out here, so they wouldn't need to get into the bale yard, but we all know they would try. So yeah, these bales are right on the limit. They're about 20%. But I am not too worried, because it's the middle of October, so it's not going to be warm for very much longer. And then these bales are actually going to be going straight to the cows. So that's fine. This is another one of these. This fence is actually okay, but it's only 3-stranded barbs, so I will be going to 4-strand on these fences. And then as you can see, there is insulators there, so there will be a better hot wire going on top, and then probably hot wire around the middle. That will be handy up there at the bale yard, so that's a future project, because you all know I'm running out of projects. So yeah, I'll bring you back when we get this field wrapped up. There you go. Just over 4 bales. So if I can kind of guesstimate how many acres I actually cut of that field, it was about half a bale to the acre. So for a 3rd cut in the middle of October, considering that was what some people's first cut or total hay cut was, I'm happy. So like I said, 4 bales off of about maybe 8 acres, 7-ish. That's good. Like I said, the big field, a lot more cut there, so we're going to test it today and see if it's ready to rake, and then we'll see in a few days, ready to bale. And here's one I prepared earlier. Ta-da! Yeah, so the repurposed bearings fit tickety-boo! So yeah, that's the generic bearing, fit in there as it should, because it's identical. And it was what is it? Oh my gosh. See, this is how you know I'm not a professional at this, because I didn't have this sitting ready. So yeah, that was one of these bearings. I don't know. There's a lot of them, so they must be like fairly, trustworthy and that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. It fit as perfect. And then the green one, which we won't name the brand, it fit in there actually quite easily. Also, considering it was like 15% wider. So there you go. Shocker. The part that I was shocked about was that with that extra space and shoving the augers in as high as I could, it still fit and then stacked all that stuff. So there you go, good to go. Still got a little bit of time tonight before I'm shutting her down. So what I'm working on is, this is the stand for the plow. And this is what I was talking about, where somebody had either driven away with it, with the stand still down, or caught it or something and did that. And I tried to, in the press, I know there's a press over there. In this general location, there is a press in my mess. I'm a poet and I don't really recognize it. So there's a press over there, and I tried squeezing the sides in and then pushing it down, and all it was doing was starting to punch this side in and not touch that, because it's a crease. So what I do, because I don't want to cut this up and try and finagle, I don't have a piece of pipe this size. That's the short and skinny of it. And this is quicker. So yeah, I just cut an access point, and then I will push through it and push out the wrinkle, and then just weld this back in. Because it's a stand. There's not a lot of weight on it. It just balances the plow, so it's not a big deal. So I find this is just quicker than having to find a piece of pipe, add it on there, drill new hole, blah, 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 schmaggity schmoo. This, yeah, so I'll straighten it, punch that out, weld this back in, buff it down. You'll not even know. You won't know, so. Straighten your act up, mister. It's like you can't even tell. Oh boy. Yeah, there's some pretty good wrinkling and compromise, but like I said, it's not like the whole weight of the plow is sitting on it, it's just balancing it. Probably at some stage I'll just end up replacing the whole dang thing, put a new pipe on it. Dang it. But yeah, well, it'll fit back on it, because the problem was that bend on it, and it was flared out, it was jammed in the frame. At least this way, it would actually swing up out of the way and come back down and sit. So, because of the way it swings, I could run a strap down there in case that ever cracks. But I can't see it. Like I said, it's not like it's the whole front end of the plow sits on this. It actually doesn't, because it sits on 3 wheels. This is just to balance it. So done. Stick it back in the plow, get ready, do this, do that, get on. Okay, we're about to do a science experiment involving this thing. Because we all know we've had our issues with this bugger. While I'm waiting for that tractor to warm up. Like I said, previously we had trouble with calves getting their heads stuck around that tub. So we added that extension onto the door, which has helped. But we still have issues where our animals will not freely go into the alley. We never had this issue when we used our neighbor's dark green one. I don't think it was Narrow-Quip, but I've been talking with Narrow-Quip and a lot of the stuff that they use and how well it works. So I'm going to try something. I've got a paint roller, and I'm going to paint the bottleneck here a dark color, because I get the feeling that bright yellow is what's doing it. I might be wrong, but here's a go. I'm going to have a go at it. So I'm just going to paint from here around. I washed it, and I'm going to paint down the alley, and then I'm going to paint the headlock, the actual crush part of the headlock, to make them think that it's on through, not bright colored. So I'll bring you back when I'm done. And there you go. 20 minutes later, or half an hour, I don't know what it is. Cabs come in. Oh, it's dark over there. Let's go see. Oh, it's dark. This looks better. And then they see that, and all they can see is darkness and an opening. As you imagine, there's a whole bunch of bedding and poop and driveway and whatnot, or the back of a truck, and they think that's an opening. But it's not. So yeah, I just kind of dotted, try not to get paint on myself here. I tried dotting the black, or dark brown as some of it is, to kind of help them, lure them into here and into the head gate. So like I said, it's a scientific project. Yeah, I didn't bother painting these doors because I'm wanting them to zip through this part and into there. So that's why that's dark and into there. And this is dark because I want them leaving the tub quickly, because they'll come in here and this is all bright, and then this corner is darker. Because as far as I know, cattle are not big on colors, but shades, yeah. Yeah, I know. I couldn't get in there with the roller. And if it's working, but it's still kind of honky, I'll get a little tin with a brush and I'll fill those in. But for now, like I said, the science is sound, as Piper Doug would say. So, when we go to process the animals at Christmas time, well, we are going to be hauling away the cull cows. They don't really matter if it's calves. That's the ones. So yeah, there you go. Let's see if we can actually make a half decent crush out of this piece of crap. Yes, hi. What was I going to say there? Arrowquip. I'll test one of your machines if you want. I probably should wrap this video up because it is Monday, the whatever of October. Trying to get the last field. This is it. This is the last of the cuttings. So yeah, I'm trying to get this wrapped up. Get it raked up today. And then I'm hoping, all going well, the young fella that's given us a hand in the Department of Concrete will be here tomorrow, if not the next day. Billy that's dropping off the shale and whatever else we're going to be getting, he's supposed to be back again tomorrow now that the yard is pretty well dried out. So yeah, in the next video, the farm should be down, fingers crossed, and I'm hoping we'll be pouring concrete. And we should definitely, mega fingers crossed, have this field all baled up. Yeah, it's quite the patchwork quilt, but if we can squeeze anywhere from a dozen to 20 bales out of this, I'll be happy. Like I said, we didn't cut too much of the field, like I said, maybe a quarter of it. So if we can get that half a bale to the acre, that's pretty darn good, because that'll help out. There's still people asking for hay. Oh man, I can't wait for this tractor to leave, and I can't wait for the other one to be back. So yeah, supposedly today or tomorrow, the part that John Deere will be in for a little green Johnny. And the repair parts are supposed to be back by midweek anyway. So, this coming week should see the green tractor getting wrapped up, so that's stellar. Not to end the video on a down note, I've got bad news from the other side of the pond. We lost another very, very dear person in our life, and to let them know over there that our hearts are with them. Yeah, it's been a bad run, and if there's anything you take away from this, it's make every day count. There's so much negativity going on and people calling each other names, and is it worth it? People that matter, tell them that they matter. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you've got dreams, live them. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, change directions. And if you got something on your cooker that is boiling over, either deal with it, move on, whatever. Yeah, like I said, since we decided to go ourselves with cattle and less acres, and I may be working as much, but the stress level is way lower. I enjoy farming again, I'll put it that way. So yeah, and yes, this might be the last time you'll see the little rake doing all these huge projects, because next season we will be driving down the middle. It will be probably a 14-wheel rake that will be behind the tractor at that point, so that'll be nice. So that'll be next year. Look forward to. And like I said, you gotta look forward. Plans, dreams. Yeah. Anyway, thanks to all the new subscribers this week. I cannot believe how high my subscriber count has climbed. Thanks once again to Brandon and Carol over at BCP Trucking and Farming. And we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Bye.